Here's Healthwise with Karen McKay.
Today, the nation watched as the 39th U.S. president was laid to rest. Much has been said about Jimmy Carter's relentless service to others. Healthwise tonight, we look at what we learned from him about fighting cancer. After a funeral service at the National Cathedral in Washington, former President Jimmy Carter was buried at his home in Georgia. He lived to be 100 years old, which is all the more remarkable because 9 years ago, he learned he had stage 4 melanoma, the deadliest kind of skin cancer, and it had already spread to the brain. The FDA had recently approved a new drug, Keytruda, and Jimmy Carter was very public about trying this new kind of cancer therapy. Unlike chemotherapy, which is toxic, Keytruda uses immunotherapy to enhance the body's immune system to attack the cancer cells. Dr. Salvatore Lococo is an oncologist who has just moved to Lubbock to chair the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology at the Texas Tech School of Medicine. But he is very familiar with Keytruda, remembering one of his patients who tried it years ago when he worked at another university.
Well, that was 11 years ago, and she and I, even though I'm back here in Texas now working for Texas Tech, she and I are still in contact because she's still in remission.
So he says he's not surprised that the former president also survived his cancer.
Since some patients have responded to Keytruda, it makes sense now that he pretty much beat it for a long period of time and passed away from old age.
However, Dr. Lococo is quick to add that Keytruda may be a good option for some cancer patients, but not for everyone.
And so we have to be careful when we talk to the public about cancer center options or cancer care options, because it's not one size fits all. It's very tailored specifically to patients.
He says immunotherapy comes with its own list of possible side effects and complications.
But it's not near as severe as some of the toxicities that we would have from chemotherapy or radiation or both.
Not only did Jimmy Carter introduce the public to this new kind of cancer therapy, but many believe he helped doctors understand that old age should not be a barrier to treatment.
In the last 5 years, I've had 3 survivors up to the age of 100. And those patients are vibrant. You know, they're elderly, they're slowing down, but if you can keep them from dying from symptoms from the cancer, and you can provide them a better quality of life.
Much like Jimmy Carter, who continued a life of service nearly 10 years after a diagnosis that he had cancer, and it was already very advanced. And aside from giving hope to a lot of cancer patients, the Carter Center, a nonprofit he founded, has worked to stop the spread of 11 diseases across America and across Africa as well. One of the many efforts that led to his winning the Nobel Peace Prize, and the reason that we thought he was a perfect person to profile tonight, Healthwise.